Here's your wrestling news for January 20th, 2026. Your headlines for today include: tell him to be careful with my neck for fuck's sake. WWE star explodes and refuses to sell risky spot. Released star confirms past controversies cost him his job. Adam Pearce forced in a massive Bron Breakker decision after mystery phone call. Who made the call? Surprising reveal: Trey Miguel claims AEW departure was ordered from the top. Major update on Javon Evans after WWE Raw match was suddenly stopped. Heel turn explained, real reason Natalya attacked Maxxine Dupri. Career versus championship, AJ Styles accepts huge Royal Rumble stipulation, and more. A recent in-ring moment involving a top WWE star has come under heavy scrutiny, sparking widespread discussion across the wrestling world after a chaotic and uncomfortable sequence at a AAA event. During AAA's Fox debut, Ludwig Kaiser, working under his El Grande Americano persona, faced Vikingo in a match to determine the next challenger for Dominik Mysterio's AAA Mega Championship. Everything appeared routine early on, but momentum changed once Americano took issue with repeated strikes to his neck. At one point, Vikingo stood on Americano's neck during a sequence, prompting a very real and urgent situation. Americano could clearly be heard shouting to the referee, "Tell him to be careful with my neck for f***'s sake." The moment went quickly viral, largely because Kaiser, who typically speaks only Spanish to protect the luchador character, broke character and reverted to English due to the seriousness of the situation. Despite the warning, the message reportedly didn't reach Vikingo in time. Moments later, Vikingo delivered a stiff kick directly to Americano's neck. From there, the tone of the match noticeably changed. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Bryan Alvarez broke down the incident in detail, noting just how angry El Grande Americano appeared after the warning was ignored. Alvarez explained that following the kick, Kaiser visibly lost his patience and stopped selling Vikingo's offense altogether. Whatever happens, he's standing on this dude's neck, and El Grande hits the mat to signal to the ref. The ref comes over and El Grande goes, "Knees over my neck for f***'s sake." He starts to stand up, he's selling it, and he's facing the corner. Right after telling the ref to tell this guy to ease up on his neck, Vikingo freaking kicks him right in the back of the neck. He doesn't even sell it. You could see it. He just turns around, looks at him, and cusses him out. Following the match, it was reported that management backstage was visibly unhappy with Vikingo and issued a warning. No further details have been disclosed at this time. The situation has reignited conversations about in-ring communication, safety, and how quickly things can unravel when warnings are missed or ignored. We'll continue to monitor the situation and provide updates as more information becomes available. Trey Miguel's exit from All Elite Wrestling may have looked sudden on the surface, but his latest comments suggest there was more behind the decision than creative direction or burnout. On January 19th, 2026, Miguel took to social media and appeared to address the circumstances surrounding his AEW release. While he did not reference any specific incident, his wording strongly implied that his past social media behavior may have played a role in the decision. "I've made a lot of mistakes in my time. I've always apologized and did my best to put a better foot forward after. I don't preach hate, and I don't take any pride in being hateful. I'm a man of faith, I believe in forgiveness, and only ever preach that. I'm a different man today." The statement came just one day after Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select confirmed that Miguel had been quietly released by AEW only days after signing a reported multi-year deal. The move occurred ahead of the January 17th episode of AEW Collision, where Miguel's Rascals stablemates, Zachary Wentz, Desmond Xavier, and Myron Reed made their official debut. Miguel was not backstage and was notably absent from the broadcast, fueling immediate speculation. The timing raised obvious questions among fans. Why move forward with a new contract only to part ways almost immediately afterward? Further clarity came from Bryan Alvarez, who stated that the decision was not driven by AEW talent or Tony Khan directly, but instead came from a higher corporate level, suggesting factors beyond standard creative considerations. Miguel's past controversies have resurfaced amid the discussion. In 2020, he faced backlash for homophobic remarks made during a Facebook exchange, comments he later apologized for. In 2019, he also faced backlash for anti-Semitic remarks made during a heated Twitter exchange with David Starr. The comments included mocking Starr's visit to Holocaust memorial sites and invoking the phrase, "All lives matter." Additionally, there were other allegations from that period which are not appropriate to detail here. While those incidents occurred years ago, and Miguel has publicly expressed remorse, their reemergence has led many to connect the dots regarding AEW's abrupt decision. With Miguel now officially gone from AEW before ever appearing on television, his situation has become one of the more complicated and controversial talent stories of the year, raising broader questions about second chances, accountability, and how past behavior is weighed at the corporate level. What's your take on AEW parting ways with Trey Miguel? Should apologies and growth matter more over time, or did AEW make the right call given the circumstances? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Guys, we're trying something new this week by not doing a full Raw recap. We've had feedback from viewers who don't want every match covered segment by segment, so we're testing a more streamlined approach. That said, we'll likely put up a poll soon to see what you prefer going forward. Your feedback will help decide how we handle Raw recaps moving forward. Let us know what you think. Monday Night Raw featured El Grande Americano squaring off against Javon Evans in what was shaping up to be another strong outing for the rising star. Evans entered the match with momentum, having already picked up wins over Rayo Americano and Bravo Americano. The goal here was simple: go 3 for 3 against the Europeans posing as luchadors. Early on, both men had their moments, but Evans appeared to have the slight edge through much of the opening match, controlling the pace more consistently than El Grande Americano. The match then went to a commercial break, and when the broadcast returned, the bout had unexpectedly been stopped. Just before the stoppage, El Grande Americano sent Evans hard into a ringside barricade, prompting Bravo Americano to rush in. Evans quickly neutralized Bravo by sending him into the steel steps, then followed up by diving off the rope onto El Grande Americano in the ring. When the broadcast returned, it was clear something was wrong. Evans remained outside the ring as WWE officials checked on him during the break. Moments later, the bell rang and the match was officially called off. Evans was visibly favoring his shoulder, though it was unclear exactly when or how the injury occurred. A new report from PW Insider has since provided a reassuring update. According to the report, Evans is said to be doing okay. While there was no major concern regarding a structural injury, there was some initial worry about a possible concussion. WWE's medical staff evaluated him backstage following the incident, and he was ultimately cleared to leave the venue with the rest of the roster, a strong indication that the situation is not serious. While a concussion has not been completely ruled out, early signs suggest Evans avoided major harm. Given that his WWE career is just getting started, the incident could have been a significant setback. Fortunately, all indications point to this being more of a precautionary stoppage than a long-term issue. Do you think Javon Evans needs to be more cautious as he continues his rise? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This week's main event in Ireland saw CM Punk defend the World Heavyweight Championship against hometown favorite Finn Balor, who was clearly hoping the Irish crowd would tilt the scales in his favor. Balor received a massive ovation on his entrance, complete with his classic theme music, and notably came out alone, no Judgment Day backup at his side. From the opening lockup, the crowd made its allegiance clear, loudly booing Punk when he grounded Balor early with a headlock. Ireland stayed firmly behind Balor as he built momentum, and the energy inside the building peaked when he kicked out of the GTS. The match itself was well-paced and straightforward, serving as a strong showcase for two elite veterans. It was especially refreshing to see Balor working more of a babyface again after spending the last several years as a heel. Punk survived the coup de grace and eventually landed another GTS to secure the win, effectively silencing the arena. You could feel the air coming out of the building the moment the referee counted 3, an expected reaction given the circumstances. Earlier in the week, some fans had called for Balor to return as the Demon King, but WWE wisely avoided using that persona in what would have ultimately been a losing effort. After the bell, Punk offered Balor his hand and raised his arm in a show of respect. The two embraced, and the broadcast initially appeared to end with Punk celebrating his victory. However, the moment didn't stop there. Once the cameras were off, Balor took the microphone and spoke candidly to the crowd about his 25-year career in professional wrestling, clearly emotional as he reflected on the journey. WWE later released the speech on YouTube, and it's well worth checking out. Whether this match signals a permanent babyface turn for Balor remains to be seen, but the reaction in Ireland made one thing clear: the audience is ready for it. Do you think Finn Balor should finally break away from Judgment Day and begin a solo babyface run? Should WWE move him to SmackDown and eventually bring back the Demon King? Sound off in the comments below. For the 6th time since their rivalry began, Maxxine Dupri and Becky Lynch stepped into the ring, once again battling over the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Before the match even started, Dupri received an unexpected boost when Natalya appeared backstage and revealed she would be in Maxxine's corner. While Dupri may not yet be on the same technical level as many established main roster stars, her improvement throughout this feud has been impossible to miss. Working consistently with a veteran like Lynch has clearly accelerated her growth, and the storyline pairing with Natalya mirrors real progress behind the scenes. Dupri has been putting in the work, and it showed. The finish, however, stunned the crowd. As Dupri appeared moments away from pinning Lynch, Natalya suddenly shocked everyone by placing Becky's leg on the bottom rope, breaking the count, and completely confusing her protege. That hesitation proved costly. Lynch capitalized immediately, planting Dupri with the manhandle slam to retain the championship. The turn didn't end there. After Lynch exited with her title, Natalya viciously attacked Dupri, officially turning heel and igniting a new personal feud. The crowd rallied behind Maxxine as the Queen of Hearts beat her down, cementing the betrayal. Natalya has quietly been working under her low-key legend heel persona outside WWE for over a year, and fans have long waited to see that edge brought to the main roster. With 2026 underway, this feels like the right time for a much-needed character shift. If the persona clicks, it could put Natalya back into the title picture down the line. For Dupri, this angle could be just as important. A deeply personal storyline against her mentor positions her as a sympathetic babyface and signals that WWE's creative team is investing heavily in her long-term development. In that sense, Natalya's heel turn wasn't just logical, it was necessary. With the Raw Women's division feeling repetitive in recent months and the Women's World Champion sidelined due to injury, this fresh rivalry could be exactly the reset the division needs. Do you think Natalya's heel turn was the right call? And is this feud the moment Maxxine Dupri truly breaks out as a top babyface? Sound off in the comments below. Gunther came out smug and arrogant as expected and declared his entry into this year's Royal Rumble match. The announcement didn't sit well with AJ Styles, who stormed to the ring clearly furious after being cheated the previous week, demanding another match with Gunther at the Royal Rumble. Gunther responded by saying that if AJ Styles wants the match, he can have it, but only if he puts his career on the line at the Royal Rumble. AJ Styles accepted the terms, officially setting the match in stone. Now the biggest question remains, could this be AJ Styles' final WWE match? PW Insider and others have suggested that his contract expires in February, while other dirt sheets are reporting that he'll be staying through WrestleMania. There are several directions WWE could take. Styles could win in controversial fashion, extending the rivalry and forcing a third match, or this could truly be the end, an abrupt and emotional farewell for one of WWE's most influential performers, announced with just 2 weeks' notice. From Gunther's perspective, attempting to end careers fits perfectly into his current role. With no championship pursuit at the moment, positioning him as a ruthless gatekeeper who shortens careers only strengthens his aura and keeps him dangerous. Now the question is simple but heavy, is this AJ Styles' final stand, or just another chapter in a legendary career? What do you think WWE should do? Should AJ Styles survive and fight on, or is the Royal Rumble the right place for his career to end? Sound off in the comments below. Six-man tag team action took place this week as The Vision, minus Bron Breakker, went head-to-head with the team of Rey Mysterio, Penta, and Dragon Lee. Adam Pearce made a point of coming down to ringside to watch The Vision's match, clearly looking to counter Paul Heyman's presence. Both Pearce and Heyman found themselves on the ring apron at different moments, creating constant distractions throughout the contest. That chaos led to Logan Paul tossing his brass knuckles to Austin Theory. Pearce reacted quickly, running over and grabbing the weapon from Theory. However, instead of confiscating it entirely, Pearce conveniently left the brass knuckles sitting on the ring apron. Moments later, Rey Mysterio picked them up and clocked Theory with the knuckles, allowing Penta to hit the Mexican Destroyer for the win. In the aftermath, attention shifted back to Adam Pearce. While grabbing the brass knuckles from Theory, Pearce once again put his hands on a member of the Vision, something Paul Heyman was quick to point out, getting right in Pearce's face about it. That confrontation caused Pearce to completely snap verbally, though he stopped short of any physical altercation. Later in a backstage segment, Paul Heyman then dropped a cryptic bombshell, telling Pearce that he was about to receive a phone call, and moments later, Pearce did exactly that. What was said on the call wasn't revealed, but the aftermath spoke volumes. Later in the show, Pearce informed Heyman that Bron Breakker would be welcome back on Raw next week in an effort to smooth things over. This isn't a full reinstatement or a sign that the suspension has been lifted just yet. Instead, it appears WWE is setting the stage for a volatile confrontation between Adam Pearce and the man who openly defied him in front of the entire locker room. That leads to the obvious question, what exactly happened during that phone call? Someone clearly intervened, and whoever it was holds serious authority. What do you think happened on the call, and who do you think made it? Sound off in the comments below. And that wraps up Raw this week. As mentioned earlier, we trimmed our review slightly to make room for other major news. How did you like the show? Which segment stood out to you, and why? Sound off in the comments below. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.